you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. Digital waveguide synthesis, also known as virtual acoustic or VL synthesis in the 90s, is kind of making a comeback this year. We've got the expressive osmose, the audio anima, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. And then we've got this. This is Reason Objekt, a new digital waveguide or modeling synth. Disclaimer, this video was sponsored by Reason. They asked me if I want to do a video on this synth, and I wanted to do that, and I really think you're going to like what you hear today. So please join me and take a look. Now you may ask yourself, what is digital waveguide synthesis? And I'm glad you asked. Let me show you here on the peak like I did once before on this channel. Now imagine you have this short burst of noise, and then you route that through a virtually infinite delay. And then you move the frequency of the delay repeats into the audible range. And then you make the delay time follow the notes on your keyboard. And then you apply a copious amount of filters and effects to that signal. Then you have created your own simple digital waveguide synthesizer. And now imagine you could pull off this polyphonically and add even more filters and effects. The first digital waveguide synths showed up in the early 90s, like this Yamaha EX5 for example. So this is Reason Objekt running inside Reaper. As you can see, this synth is divided into the exciter part, a modal part which is kind of like an FM synthesizer, and two objects which are the endless delay loops I showed you earlier on the Novation peak. On the right side there's a mixer, and on the bottom there's a control matrix which lets you assign controllers like mod wheels and so on to synth parameters. We also have the standard synth stuff like envelopes, LFOs and so on. Let's begin with Object 1. This delay loop sounds just like the example I showed you on the peak earlier. But as you can see here, we can now introduce more delay loops that are running at other frequencies, and they will start modulating the overall sound, kind of like an FM synth. If you want to, you can also decouple these on the right side, so they will ring out as a mix of different frequencies not modulating each other. I'm going to do that, and this results in a sound that is reminiscent of a 12-string guitar. You can play around with the tuning here to get the fullest sound. The decay and release mute knobs will now adjust how long the sound rings out before and after releasing a key. Okay, now let's use the modal synth. As I said, this is operating on sine waves that are modulating each other just like an FM synthesizer, and you can use the decay time and release mute settings to let the sound fade away more slowly. Now let's use the exciter. This is the burst of noise that is fed into your system of delay loops here. Use the ADSR knobs to shape the exciter noise, and as you can hear, the tone is now really sharp and sustained. We can now use the equalizers to turn this into a choir-like sound. Use the mixer to avoid distortions, add some reverb, and our pad sound is done. But enough of that, let's hear some sounds, and always keep in mind these are synthesized in real time, there are no samples in use here. The real fun, however, begins if you use your own sounds as an exciter for Objekt. In this case, I'm just connecting my live microphone to the audio in of Objekt, and then I'm using this brush to excite it. Yeah, and that's it for today. Reason, Objekt, a new modeling or virtual acoustic or digital waveguide synth that makes editing digital waveguide synthesis sounds a little bit more easy to grasp and also needs some much needed playfulness to the whole process. Overall, I really enjoyed my time with this plugin. So once again, thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. And if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to support what I'm doing here financially, you can use the Super Thanks button for one-time donations, or become a channel member using the button under this video, or join my Patreon. As always, thanks for watching and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye!